An en croute is when something is baked inside a pastry. Salmon en croute in pastry. So it's a really lovely way to have a meal. You have layers. So you cook the salmon that's going in the middle, just bake it in some tin foil. Then you have a mousse, which is the glue that holds the whole thing together. And also then I'm going to put it with pancakes, so it really contains it, really keeps it together. This is more like an assemble job rather than a whole job. So what we've done is we've cooked some salmon. Now we've got some fresh salmon, which what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it into the processor and get it nice and smooth. To get it really smooth, you take an egg. You know, I'm going to put the whole egg in. I wasn't going to, but I think I will on this one. Now, I'm going to just... You have to be a bit careful when you if you put too much egg white in, because what can happen, it can turn the mousse rubbery. So you have to be a bit careful with that. So,
I'm now going to pour the single cream in, gradually.
That's it.
And pulse it. And pour. And pulse. And pour. And pulse.
Perfect. It's lovely and smooth. And I'm using this for the glue, really, for my en croute to keep it all together really beautifully. I'm now going to put some cooked shallots in there. I'm also going to put in a cooked mushroom. So all we've done is soften them off in a little bit of butter. I'm also going to put a little bit of rice, and that'll help bulk it out. So I'm going to put half the amount of rice there in that. Right, there we go. Now, I'm just going to taste it a little bit from that. Now, I'm going to take the salt. Now, this can take a reasonable amount of salt. That is really quite delicious, but I'm going to take some parsley here. That was a little bit of a struggle, to say the least. That's enough. That's not too fine. Now, finally, mix this. Right, that will be enough. Now, that's done. So this is the glue. So I'm going to get my puff pastry and assemble. Okay, now we're going to go like this, and then go like this, and go like this. That's it. So, now, what do we start off with? I'm going to take I'm going to get what I call my brick, a little tiny bit of brick. So the brick, I'm just going to make it this big. Now, on top of the brick, I'm going to be putting a pancake. So that is my template almost. I need mousse for the inside, but you don't want it thick. You want it a little bit just like glue. So what I'm going to do is, that'll be enough for that. Yeah, so you literally bring it there. I'll bring it in a minute, and I'm going to the end of the pancake. That's more than enough. There we are. So I'm going to put some salmon, a thin layer of salmon on the top, and I'm going to try and make it as even as I possibly can, because, you know, I want it sort of flat, but I've got it in chunks. There we are. One step at a time. Perfect. So I've divided that into two. Lovely. The middle, I'm going to be making a little bit sort of what I say more, but not much more. There we are, more than enough. So I'm now going to make sure that I've got a flat surface. Now at this point, again, you must bring this brick in. You almost see I'm sort of making a terrine, sort of freestanding terrine, I suppose.
And lastly, add the final layer of salmon and glue it all round with the delicious mix, remembering to pat it in tightly.
We now need to bring up the actual pancake.
Take another one.
And cut some pancakes, because obviously I just need that so it comes nicely. So I shall scissor that bit off. Okay. So all I'm going to do is cut around like that. Now, what is important, you go and make that really delicious brick. Now, like that. What I'm going to do is just put another tiny bit, because it's the glue that holds it together. So, I love doing this actually. There's something very sort of tactile about it. Right, now I'm going to roll the top out. I've got another pull puff pastry. And before I do it, I'm just going to egg the outside of this. This is the bit I so enjoy. I'm egging it so I can, when I put the pastry over the top, it will seal. Right. I love making puff pastry because I love making it. Right, okay. So to do this, I always do it in half. All right, so put it into half. Like that. Perfect. Right. Over. Okay, so what you must not do whenever you're doing anything with puff pastry is stretch it. You must let it just find its own place. Try not to get any folds in it. It is like a brick. You need to work it so it really gets in, so it looks better. So once you've got your lovely solid brick form, we are now going to do a little bit of topping. But first of all, before we do that, I'm very carefully going to just cut this. Now what I'm doing is I'm cutting it so it's about a centimetre. What I will do, just to help it a little bit, I will go down with my finger, just so it really seals. Nothing is going to come out of it, I assure you of that one, because it's all solid and it'll just cook inside. I think I'll just put a little bit of maybe lattice on it. Quite cool. Now, this is going to go into the oven we started at 180, and then we're going to turn it down after half an hour, and we'll have it in the oven for about 55 minutes. Now, one of the most important things here, you must put a little bit of a hole in the middle. Slide. So off we go. Let's get it in as quickly as we can. Right. Here we are, that's got to go in now. It's on at 180. In, perfect, 180. So, here is my salmon en croute. It looks pretty good to me and it looks really attractive. I think it's a real spectacle. Now what I'm going to do is carefully, oopsie. So what I'm going to do is I'm letting the knife do the work. It's really important. Right, so that's what the knife does. Now what I'd like you to do is to look inside. And that's served with some hollandaise sauce, or if it's cold, mayonnaise. I think that's a special meal. That's a really special meal. So enjoy.